Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go over all the books that I read in the month of January. So I read 17 books in the month of January and let's go over them. So the first book that I technically finished in the month of January was the second book of a series, which was called Fixer by Lucy Score. The first book in the series was called Mr. Fixer-Upper, and this one I rated 3.5 stars. Technically I finished it like New Year's Eve, so doesn't really count as January read, but it was a book that I read before January, but after my yearly review of 2025. And then the second book of the series, which was technically the first book I finished of January, was The Christmas Fix, and this one I also rated 3.5 stars. Both stories were written in third-person point of view, which isn't my favorite because I just feel like you don't really get to be in character in a way, but they're still super cute romance stories, and especially around the holidays, they were super cute. The next 5 books were part of a series, the Line of Duty series by Tessa Bailey. All 5 of them I rated about 3.5 stars. The last one was like a little bit higher, 3.75 stars. All of the books are centered around like police officers and them finding their loves through different tropes. It wasn't like my favorite series by Tessa Bailey, but it still was an easy, quick read for some romance. The next book that I read in January was the 4th book in the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. This one was In Your Dreams. This book I rated 4 stars. This book had He Fell First and Harder, Brother's Best Friend, Workplace/Forced Proximity, and Friends to Lovers trope. It was really good. This whole series was really good by Sarah Adams, so I definitely recommend. The next book that I read in January was The Perfect Assist by Jillian Arley, and this is the 2nd book in the Green Bay Bobcat series. It's a hockey workplace romance. It's a single dad, grumpy sunshine, hockey player, ex yoga teacher, also has some slow burn in it. The male main character is a single dad, and he's grumpy, of course, and needs some help with his kid, and the yoga teacher for the team is there to help, and they fall in love, and it's just super cute. The next 4 books that I read was a cowboy series. It was a Hayden family series by Jennifer Milliken. I think that's how you say it, maybe. First book is The Patriot, and this one I rated 4 stars. It is about a war veteran that is home and trying to find his way back in life, and he meets this like land developer who is buying part of his family's land to obviously develop new things on it, and they work together and fall in love. The first book is also A Marriage of Convenience. The second book is The Maverick, and this one I rated 3.5 stars. It is a single dad and forced proximity trope. The third book is The Outlaw, and this one was super fun. The male main character is kind of like a rule follower, but also like wants justice for like people who see injustice, I guess, in a way. This one is a one-night stand, forced proximity, and enemies to lovers. The last book of the series is The Calamity, and this one I rated 4 stars. It is the younger sister of the 3 older brothers, which are the 3 other books, and this one has like a slight age gap. It wasn't really like defined or like really put out there that there's an age gap, but it was implied, and it is like the family's, like her dad's ex-rival's kid, and they discover some secrets of the family but still like navigate their relationship together and stuff. So it was pretty cool, and I really liked that series. It was a cowboy series again, so if you really are in the mood for a cowboy series, definitely recommend that one. The next book that I read in January was The Playbook Breakaway, and this book is the 5th book in the Rookie Hawkeye series by Kenna King. I rated this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It has Marriage of Convenience, Golden Retriever, and Brother's Teammate. The next book is Just Breaking the Rules by Lauren Blakely. This is the first book of one of her new series. Obviously, it's still a hockey romance. This one I also rated 4 stars. It is a brother's best friend, He Fell First and Harder, workplace romance, and he's such a golden retriever. The next two books are a young adult series by Rebecca Genshak, and it is the Frost Lake High series. When I first started reading these, I didn't realize it was gonna be young adult, which is fine, but it was definitely like a step back from like the normal romance level I read at, but it was still like a good, like, feel good, cutesy romance series. Both books I rated 3.5 stars. The first book is Stealing for Keeps, and the second one is Playing with Forever. Both of them take place around high school students, so it's definitely for like a younger audience. And since I'm like a little bit older, I was kind of like weird to read about people's lives in high school, and it obviously didn't have kind of like the level of romance or spice that regular adult romance books had, but like I said before, they were cute, feel-good romance. It is a sports romance. They both are focused around soccer, so the male main characters both play soccer. The first book is a teammate's ex-girlfriend, so that one was kind of like a little like, ooh, drama. And then the second one was Grumpy Sunshine, kind of like enemies to lovers type vibe. And the last book that I read in January is the first book of the series. The series is called Boston Blues, and the first book is Picture Us. This series is by Molly Goines. I think that's how you say her last name. And this book I rated 4 out of 5 stars. It is obviously like a baseball romance. I shouldn't say obviously, but Picture Us is kind of a play on words. Picture like baseball pitcher, and then like also picture, because it is a baseball player and the team photographer. It's also brother's teammate and best friend's sister, forced proximity, like neighbors, workplace romance type vibe. So that's all the books that I read in January. Hopefully there are some books that piqued your interest, or ones that maybe you were like, that's not my vibe. But there are a ton of books coming out in February that I'm so excited and looking forward to. So come back in a month for my February wrap up of my books that I will read. Okay, bye!